Hello, my name is Trydar. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build a high Elven Nether portal in Minecraft. Let's get started. So let's take a look at our high Elven Nether portal. Of course, you can immediately see, it's purple. It's a Nether portal, but it's done in the high Elven style I've been releasing things in lately, ships and towers and whatnot. Of course, we have a couple of high Elven statues on all the four corners, and it's a double-sided portal, so it doesn't matter which side you want to go in or out of. They're all the same. And in true High Elven style, of course, is done with a delicate tracery over the portal, forming just a really big frame. And it's made up of a couple of nether portals. Of course, we have a big one down here and a middle one down there. I think if I just show you this one where I've sliced it in twain, we can see that more easily. So if we take a look at the inside here, we can see I've fit the portal frames to go around the tracery. I think probably a change that could be made is instead of having these smaller portals up here in the tutorial later, if you want to, you can save yourself just a little bit of obsidian if you probably build just a big square here. It was originally done like this because in my first drafts I was thinking about fitting the exterior of the portal very close to the Gothic arch and everything. But when I started doing that, it didn't quite come out as planned. I was left with a whole bunch of extra room on the side over there that I thought really needed something. So I played around with my high elven roof designs, and I nested a couple together, and I came up with this technique here. I think it looks pretty good. But of course, as you can tell, it's a standard nether portal. I think that's the biggest size that we can get below there, and then there's a couple more under that, and one tiny little one there at the top. So if you want to build one, here are the dimensions. 43 by 27 for the base, and it's 61 blocks tall, all the way down here to the very top. Here are the materials that you're going to need. It's not too bad on the materials list, all things considered, I think. You can use black stone in place of the obsidian if you don't want to gather that much. And you can also use some other block if you don't want to use beacons here for decoration. Perhaps a diamond block, or if that's too expensive, you could use one of the glazed terracotta. I think perhaps the light blue glazed terracotta. And you'll need some blue glass panes and stone bricks. And these blocks here are just extra blocks to fill solid. You don't actually need 6,000 and something of these, because most of these are in the base down here. These are just the filler blocks on the inside I put in to optimize the build. So you're only collecting the materials that you need to build the shell of the building itself. But if you do want to fill it solid, you'll need all of those extra materials. So for the base here on phase 1, you need to lay out a big rectangle of 43 by 27. You may want to count this 2 or 3 times to make sure you get that number correct. It's very foundational. And in the middle, of course, we want to put down a bit of sandstone as well. Some chiseled back here, and then some regular slabs. And that is going to be over from this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then you want to go for a run of blocks of these of 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17, 18, 19. I think that came out to be 19 blocks there. And this build also, as we go, if you split it down the middle, I think that's the middle. If you split it down the middle, what we build on the left side is going to be symmetrical to what we build on the right side. Meaning that if we build something like this over here on that side of the center line, we want to mirror it right there on the other side of the center line. So as we go, I'm going to focus real close on probably half the building. And that's because all you need to do is just build the whole thing mirrored again on the other side there. And also for the statues, I'll give you a quick look at the statues slice by slice as we go. But these statues, these smaller statues, already have their own tutorial video that I've published. So if you need a block by block version of those, you can get that from there. Another thing I want to remark on before we go is this is my first time I'm introducing my High Elven pillar design. It's sort of an evolution of a Corinthian, but of course we have very complicated base down here, and the pillars of these are of course made up of a twist of obsidian glowstone down the core of it and glass panes just arranged down here. So we get this nice little barley twisted effect on our columns. Quite nice, I think. And then up here we have, of course, the characteristic high elven capitals. And then they have the bit of their entablature and the roof and everything after that. Before we go on to the next phase, I'll also remark that the world, of course, is available for download in the video description for both Java and Bedrock versions, as it always is. So if you just want to download it, you can also do that too. You maybe use the video as a companion or whatnot. So on the other side of that, you of course want to just make the other set of stairs. And then the rest of it's just, simple laying out of the rectangle of the cobbled deep slate. On top of the deep slate, you want to go around and put obsidian or blackstone. You're probably using blackstone for this. It'll look just as good. For this here, and then a couple more blocks of obsidian there. And then we want to extend our staircase up another flight. Of course, it's going up at a 1 to 2 ratio, meaning that for every 1 block we're going up, it's going to go back 2 blocks, just like so here. All right, next phase up from that, stack the obsidian up another layer. And stack the stairs up and back another layer again, except this here we want to have 4 blocks all the way back on either side, because we have a landing in this. And there's, what's that, 9 blocks left in the middle? I assume you're building the base as a shell. So on top of the obsidian, we want to put down, of course, some cobbled deep slate, and this pattern here, which would be easiest if I just show you the entire thing from the top down. I think with the pattern I chose for the double smooth half slabs there, it's pretty easy to count out what everything is. Most of it's just lines and simple angles based on what you've already constructed. Let's take a closer view of it though before we move on. This right here, this is the footprint for the portal itself. Right there. And then, of course, down here we have another flight of stairs. And then 5 blocks of space in the middle there. All right, next block level up. We want to build the base of the statue, just right here, 5 by 5 cobbled deep slate. And then over here, we want to lay out the base of the portal. And down here, this is the base of the portal frame itself, where you would light it, like so. And I'm going to go around through here and put down some torches on top of this obsidian, because sometimes it can be a little hard to see, and this is an important slice to get right. There you are, so you can just clearly differentiate it from the layer below. There, we'll go on to the next phase here. For these statues, I'm not going to say much. I'm just going to pause and take a look at it and then move on to the portal. So over here for the portal, our center line is passing right through here. Right through there. And we have, of course, a couple of blocks on each side and then 5 here in the middle. And then we've got these stairs here to form the very bottom of our delicate Gothic tracery we have for the detail over the portal frame. It's a device I use to help hide the fact that I had to stitch the thing together with multiple portals because we can't quite make a portal big enough for what I wanted to do here. I did try to make a smaller design to start with, but to be honest, it didn't look good enough. So we had to go for the super deluxe version, as we always do, because, high elves are really fancy. They have to have the super deluxe version. So over here, we're just stacking everything up for the most part from the previous phase there. And we'll go on to the next one. All right, so let's try and start here in the middle and take a look at the next steps of our tracery. Of course, we could just have the stairs being flipped on top of each other. Bit of in-stone bricks and then cobbled deep slate here for the portal frame. Next level up here. Details for the tracery. Of course, the tracery is double-sided. What you do on one side, you want to do on the other. Some sandstone stairs here now. And some chiseled sandstone blocks there. Details for the tracery. I'm probably going to be saying that a lot this episode. I have to say something. Upside down, not sandstone, yes. Sandstone stairs. I was going to say cobblestone, because I usually use cobblestone. And then in-stone bricks behind that. I bet you thought the day would never come when you would be using in-stone bricks for anything. But here we are. If you don't want the in-stone bricks, though, you could use just plain sandstone in place of those. It looks close enough, but I like to mix and match. I mean, nobody ever uses these, and it makes the Elven architecture stand out a little bit more, I think. All right, obsidian now, all around there. Details for the tracery. Tracery is just going to go straight up for quite a while. It's not going to get complicated until we start getting towards the top. And, oh, I don't know, a while. All right, next slice up. Sandstone stairs again. Details for the tracery. Don't make a drinking game out of that. You won't survive. We're going to be saying details of the tracery quite a lot. Suppose I could try and come up with other words. Mind the glass panes when we're doing this bit here now. There we go. Tracery for the details. The column here with the twisting obsidian and glass. Once we do a bit of these, you'll see it's just a repeating pattern too. Not very difficult. But it does look quite nice, I think. Perhaps something you can adapt to some of your other builds. Yeah. Details for tracery. Did I look at the statue? Make sure. I mean, yeah. Back over here. Some of these glass panes are going to be connecting to the block wall there. It's not quite ideal, but I can't really control exactly where the glass panes connect because we do need full blocks there and we do need glass panes beside it, so we're just going to have to live with it. The details. More details. Not a whole bunch to say during the next several phases. And tracery again. Of course, someday when we do the Gothic Cathedral, or I suppose the Temple of Time, we're going to be doing a whole lot of tracery. Like half that building is tracery. It'll be fun though. I use a lot of the Gothic things that I built for Gothic cathedrals on this High Elven stuff because it suits it quite well. Because you could compare the High Elves themselves to delicate tracery. I think we built enough this column now. You can see we've got the repeating patterns down pretty good. Like this block here will correspond to probably that block there. And then on the next phase to whatever that block there is going to be. So if we break these up into little modules, we're just stacking them up one on top of the other all the way up. Now, bear in mind, they should be mirrored, of course, on this side over here. Let me get a little altitude so we can see all of it. Perhaps I'll land. So we can see that they're twisting in that way over here, but on this side they're twisting in the opposite way. So as we're going through and building these, make sure that you don't accidentally build these spinning the wrong way. You want to mirror them. Just wanted to say that in case you end up building all those and these were built the same way as those without taking the mirroring into effect, or rather into account. Because otherwise, all the blocks are the same between the two things on either side of the center line. It's just sometimes the mirroring can trip people up with some of the details. It's easy to forget when I'm just looking at one side of it. All right, not many details in the tracery now. We're just putting up these chiseled stone bricks and continuing up our twisted columns. I really like having the glowstone inside the columns. It gives it sort of an enchanted look. That's something you would see normally in a column. You wouldn't see glass and have it glowing from the inside. That's just not really a thing with actual columns. But of course, with the high elves, they have all sort of enchanted things that let us do fun things like that. All right, we're finally spreading out the arches on the tracery here. Just like so. And the detail for the columns beside that. All right. Same detail, just flip the stair for that. Continue up the pattern for your column. You should have a good handle on how to build that now. We've built most of it. All right, details. Quite a few details here for the tracery. But it's just stairs and chiseled blocks. Nothing too complicated. All right, over here we've gotten to the height where this is our maximum portal size, so we have to make a horizontal thing just all the way across. You can light your portal if you want to. All the way across there, and this, of course, our center line right here. And then it's just stairs, inverted or right side up, across there, just straight across, straight run of obsidian down the middle. And then a bit more of the column on either side. All right, here we are forming now the upper tracery. Torch marking our center line. We have a couple of half slabs here now. Just like so. And then, of course, we're still building our columns on this side here. All right. Try and align ourselves in the middle here. I know it looks like a random assemblage of stairs, but we are going somewhere with it, so just trust the process. And even more of our column. Over here, of course, you can see we've been banding our brickwork with every 2 blocks of end stone bricks, we're doing a band of chiseled sandstone. It's a nice detail you can use to add, you can add just a little bit of detail to an otherwise flat wall without going to the trouble of doing just a whole gradient for the structure. You can just band your brickwork instead, and it still looks nice and clean. All right, so the only blocks we've got here are these stairs right there, following that, and the ones here on the side. And, oh, I didn't take a look at the statue. And for the beacon here, you can use, what is that? You can use light blue glazed terracotta here, would make a nice accent block here if you don't want to use a beacon or a diamond block just for decoration. Perhaps you're trying to do your elven portal on a budget, so just want to say. And that's the top of the head there, so there's only the swept back wings at the back here. All right, inverted stairs here and here, and a bit more of the columns over here. We're almost done with these columns. In fact, I think that might be the top of the column shaft there. Yep. Over here, full blocks, chiseled sandstone for those. And here we're capping these columns off with upside down sandstone stairs all the way around there. More chiseled sandstone right there. And then on top of your upside down stairs, we want to do right side up stairs just on top of those. Let's get past the statue. Chiseled stone bricks again here. Chiseled sandstone here. And then the detail over here for the columns. It's mostly obsidian again. More tracery. You see this pattern here. That means we're roughly here. Again, we're going to be doing the same sort of scheme again with some arches. And of course, the high elven capitals, of course, they are designed to have some illumination in them, just like here with the glowstone. Of course, we've got upside down sandstone stairs right around, well, tight there, right around here. And then back here. Details for the tracery. And here we want to do the same thing again with the glowstone and the stairs. You just want to stack them up for a second level. Right there. I would say the stairs here represent acanthus leaves, but that would be Corinthian. I don't really know what it represents in Elven. Maybe they have some equivalent. Perhaps it's the leaves of a malorn tree. And I think this finishes off the statues now, so we don't have to take a look at these. These should all be built. As I said, these have their own tutorial if you want a more condensed block by block version for those. I've already made that. So over here, the details. Details and details. And here for the capitals, of course, the design of these sort of has... It kind of follows the motifs for the roof designs I made for the High Elves. Just like so. I don't have them included in here, but perhaps if you wanted to, you have some extra glass, you could conceivably do that. It wouldn't look terrible. It would match the columns a little bit better. But I will leave that up to you to... Whoops. I hate that function. I will leave that up to you to do. And we want to just do all of the four sides of the capitals the same. Except in here, we just want to connect the whole thing with chiseled sandstone like so. So it's only on 3 sides. Alright, so statue's done. We're now only focusing on the portal. We have come to the point where we finished our second frame here. So we can do the detailing for the tracery here and fill in just straight obsidian behind that. And we got a little half slab right over here. And some cobbled deep slate now showing up for a bit of the entablature design for the Elven Order. Pretty easy phase there, I think. Next level up. More tracery. bit of deep slate, and a bit of obsidian or blackstone. I should probably just replace my obsidian texture with the blackstone texture. Even though I like the blackness of the obsidian, just a little bit deeper black for me. Always been a fan of bedrock and obsidian, but these days it's more of a cobble, deep slate, and blackstone, just because it's easier to come by. Well, you know, anything is easier to come by than bedrock, but still. Details. Right here. And stack your obsidian up for 2 levels. Next phase, more details. Get some floating blocks here. They are attached to something though, I think. And then cobbled deep slate right on top of the blackstone. All right. Next level here, going straight across. There. And obsidian behind that. Although this is one of these places, if you want to, you could probably skip this and make a taller nether portal. That would probably let us remove some elements of the tracery to make the window a bit more open up there. But I think the design still looks pretty good without doing that. But if you want to play around with the exact details of that, I will leave that up to you. I know it took quite a few tries to do. Well, to learn how to do tracery in the first place. It's one of those things. I mean, it's usually done. It's very delicate stone carving, but all we have are big ungainly blocks to use, so we have to approximate it as best we can. And if you make something big enough, you can get a fair approximation. You can make some small ones, but you know, of course, they just have fewer details. It really depends on what kind of detail you want to put into your window as to how big you need to make it. And also in this case, we were limited by having to use nether portals behind it, so there were some built-in size limitations for that. All the stairs, just flip them on the top and put obsidian behind that. All right, details for the next level, tracery. And then cobbled deep slate on the rest of that. All right, here in the middle, right there, detail for tracery. Although you can see our arch is sort of, it's beginning to close off here. So we are getting to the point where we are going to run out of tracery to build. I bet you never thought that we would, considering how long you probably have been working on it. And how many times I've said it. So over here we've done the entablature for the sides of the column. So now we're putting on the triple nested roof design made for this. So we have some upside down sandstone stairs here, and a couple of endstone brick blocks leaning out, overhanging that. Of course, high elves just love their pointy overhanging roofs. At least they do when I build it. So next level here, details for the tracery, obsidian behind that, although that might not be there if you're just building another large portal. Behind that, like I remarked at the start of the video. And oh yeah, never mind, I was wrong. We have even more tracery on the eaves of the roof over here, or rather, I guess this would be the high elf equivalent of the tympanum. Some people may call it a tympanum. I don't think tympanum sounds graceful. Anyway, over here we have just one little block left. I think it's going to be like the last little block there for the central window, probably. We're getting ready to close that off. Take a look around the side here. We have a bit of the roof coming in with the obsidian and the cobbled deep slate. And, of course, the tympanum tracery right there. All right, next level up here, capping the entire thing off with that last chiseled block right there. That is going to be all the tracery for our giant window frame that we have over the top of that. And then we have some more details back here to cap off the arch in front of it. Of course, we got one block setbacks here. Of course, the tracery in the tympanum is very simplified compared to all the others. So here's the rest of this in here for the arch. Little half slab there, more half slabs, a couple of blocks cobbled deep slate, and over here the rest of the details for the triple nested roof we have over our portal. I ended up going with the roof instead of what I thought about doing at first, with wrapping it very tightly around the Gothic arch, because it just kind of looked better when I tried it this way. This is one of these buildings that not always the first version I came up with was best. Of course, I got rid of it and made a better one. You always want to try and refine your buildings. At least I always try and do that, because when I put them out as tutorials, they're kind of fixed. I mean, I can't go back and change blocks in a video I've already recorded, so I try and do all that work ahead of time and give you the best building I can the first time. Of course, I assume this is why you use the buildings in the video, because of all the work that's already gone into them. Alright, so we have finished building the arched overhang here. Finally, we just got this one little chiseled block there to cap off that arch. And for the rest of the video, we're going to be building the roof. So here's the design for the roof. Couple stairs there. Couple blocks here. And the lowest most portions of the roof behind that. Of course, everything to do with high elves is all shaped around Gothic arches. The roofs are shaped that way too. They're just Gothic arches that have been extended out like a barrel vault. And then they've been also cut on the ends here in a sloping Gothic arch going that way that forms their distinctive shapes for their eaves. I got a whole set of these roofs that I made for bits and pieces to build things together. All right, just taking a look at the roof now. Couple stairs there. Almost done with all the tracery. And taking a look at the roof here. And upside down stairs just straight across there. All right, next level up, taking a look at the roof design. And with this this one last chiseled block there, we have done all the tracery on this structure. There's no more to do. But this is a good example of when you have a smaller example of some tracery we could use here if we were making like a really small window or portal. I've used these in smaller cathedrals and churches and whatnot. Next phase. We're in the home stretch now. Not a whole lot left. It's pretty simple work with these roofs here. Just putting them all together. Extend out the eave there on the end for that one. And next phase over here, I'm trying to start in the middle of this. Next level up, right there. All along the middle, put in the line for the eave there. A couple of stairs there, and that will be finished off on the end. All right, next level up, we want to have just a straight run of end stone bricks all across there, and then these little decorative finials we have on the ends of the roof here. So we're going to build another finial here, some more stairs there to finish that off, and then put some stairs on top of that one. And once you have done that for the whole thing, your High Elven Nether portal will be complete. So I hope you have enjoyed the tutorial for the High Elven Nether portal. It's going to be more High Elven stuff coming, but I thought a Nether portal was the next logical step to build. And I would like to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.